Hi guys, today we are going to be doing Front Desk Chapter 5. Now let's get to it. And if you have the book, please read along. We were surprised to find the maker right where we left it when we got back. It had not moved an inch. In the time that we were gone, my dad had only managed to clean 2 rooms. I don't know how I was going to get through all these rooms, he said, wiping his sweaty brow with the back of his hand. I'll help you, I offered, rolling up my sleeves. In China, I sometimes help my grandmother scrub her kitchen floor. No, my mom said. I don't want you near that stuff. She pointed at the make cart filled with various color bottles and cleaning solution. Then I'll man the front desk, I said, and I'll call you if I need anything. I ran out of the room and down the stairs before she could say no. I got this, I told myself. On the way over to the front office, this was not going to be like the restaurant. This time, I was not going to fail. And all I had to do was hand the keys and take the cash. How hard could it be? I got into position, climbing onto the front desk stool and crossing my hands on the desk. It did not take long before the customers started coming. Unfortunately, when they saw me, the first thing they did was ask to speak to the manager. So to get my mom, up and down the stairs I ran. Every time she had to stop what she was doing and run down the stairs with me to the front office just to hand the customer the key and take the money. By the 5th time, I said, enough! I made the little sign and put it on the front desk. It read, Mia Tang, manager. The next time a customer came in and asked to see the manager, I pointed at the sign and I stared at him really hard. In science class at my old school, I learned if you want a mammal to do something, you should stare at it. That's because mammals are social creatures and we're really into archery or something. At the top, you have your alpha, the leader, and then your betas and among us. The difference between an alpha and a beta is that an alpha wins every staring contest. So I stared at him and stared until my eyes went blurry and I was starting to see double. And even then, I refused to blink. Finally, the customer broke down and said, okay, fine. I just need a room for the night. Yes, it worked. That'll be $20 plus tax, I told him. I watched as he dug into the pocket, pulled out a $20 and a $5, and slid across the desk. I gave him his change and his key. The whole time, I couldn't believe it was happening. I was just a kid, but I had to ask an adult to hand me the money, and he actually did it. I repeated my strategy with everybody else who walked through that door. Point, stare, point, stare. Eventually, I didn't even need a stare. People just went ahead and gave me the money. I was so happy. I hopped off the stool, opened the vending machine, and treated myself to a cream soda. I got for Hank, too, and went to find him. Unfortunately, he wasn't home. Fred, one of the other weeklies, said he was working and wouldn't be home till late. When I got back to the front desk, the phone was ringing. The Calavista had an old-fashioned orange iPhone phone with a ton more buttons than a usual one. I didn't know what the extra buttons did, but for a second I fantasized it that I pushed the wrong button and the motel would start flying. Hello? I asked, picking up the receiver. Is this the front desk? A voice asked. I looked at the glowing light and saw the call was coming from room 6, which I had just rented out to Mr. Steen. I cleared my voice. Mr. Steen, how can I help you? I asked, putting on my best customer service voice. I need a wake-up call for tomorrow at 5 a.m., Mr. Steen said. Wake-up call. 5 a.m., I repeated. You got it. Don't forget, I have to leave for a very important meeting. I promise I wouldn't and hung up. For the next half an hour, I studied the complicated phone system. There was a manual in the drawer, but it was one of those manuals that was impossible to read. It was like a manual they wrote for the walkie-talkies my mom used to make in the factory in China. Her walkie-talkies were great, but when they were shipped to America, no one could figure out how they worked because the manuals were full of typos and mistakes. I chuckled and wondered if the Calavista phone system was also made in China, like me. It made me feel strangely close to it. "All right, old friend," I said to the phone system. "Let's do this." I punched in a code for a wake-up call and entered the phone room number and time. To my amazement, the phone system made a beep. It worked. Pride swelled inside of me, and I drifted to sleep that night. It was a glorious first day. I rented out 12 rooms, 7 of which I'd done myself. Not only that, I'd gotten the phone system to work, and I didn't need to worry about getting up early to wake up Mr. Steen. I could sleep easy, knowing the awesome phone system would do it for me. Then morning came. Watch the next video to find out what happened to Mr. Steen. Bye.